This is the star of today's show. We're going to be making broccoli and cheese soup, and the recipe originally comes from Gordon Ramsay, but we're going to modify it a little bit, make it a little bit more anabolic. So let's go. Let's start by boiling the water. We want to make sure that our water is really boiling, rolling boil. We're going to add in a good amount of salt. We're adding pink Himalayan salt. We are only going to be using the broccoli florets for this recipe. You can cut your own, or you can just buy them in a bag. Either way works, but just make sure you get them nice and washed. Okay, the water is perfect. It is at a nice rolling boil, so we're going to add in the broccoli that we washed earlier, and we are going to cook it for 4 to 5 minutes. That is all that it needs, and then we are going to take it out, and we are going to drain it with a colander. So in Gordon Ramsay's recipe, he definitely calls for goat cheese, but we're going to be using fat-free cheese just to make it a little bit more calorie-friendly and anabolic. So the broccoli has been cooking for about 5 minutes. We're just going to run a knife through it and make sure it's done. So the broccoli is done. We are just going to put it in a colander, but we are going to keep the water for later when we blend it. Now that the broccoli is done, we are just going to add it into the blender, and then we will be adding in the water. So the more water you add, the creamier the texture is going to come out. But the less water you add, the more thick your texture is going to come out. So use your own discretion to what you like. I like mine a little bit creamier, so we put in about 3/4 of the water. After you have added in the desired amount of water, you are going to blend on high until you get the texture that you are looking for. I added in some walnuts just for a little bit of crunch. Now we'll pour the soup, and we are going to add in some cheese. The cheese that we weighed out earlier, we're using the fat-free cheese, and this will really help bring up the protein on this little creation. We're going to add in some pepper and a little bit of salt, and voila, it's just that easy, just that simple. If you don't really care about calories, I definitely recommend going with the normal cheese because the fat-free cheese definitely creates a strange texture.
So the fat-free cheese is extremely stringy, but you get a good yield on calories. 199 calories for 24 grams of protein, which is really good. However, the texture is a little strange. You might want to use normal cheese.